welcome back to my channel called zuzanareacts, where I learn all things about Rawiyu, helping I just share my Slovak Central European point of view. And in today's video is going to be part 3 of Who Am I video that I hope you have been enjoying with me. But before we jump into the final part of the video,
please like this video and click on the subscribe button and turn on the notification. Thank you so much for your support.
Okay, so I just started a tiny bit before the final question, but let's kick this off.
About is not that eye. Speaking about the light which shines on that eye. When the eye is present, when the eye is absent also. One more question, then we wrap up.
Here we go.
I think today is going with a little heavy. I sort of expected it to be heavy. Okay, I'll take up your question. Yeah, go ahead.
I know that at the moment that I'm not a waker, I'm not a dreamer, I'm not a sleeper. So I should be indifferent to all the emotions, like happiness, sorrows, or everything.
Yes.
I should just see emotions going in front of me.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So why should I feel sympathy to a poor, or why should I have a sympathy towards someone who needs my help? I should be indifferent to
True.
Why shouldn't I kill him?
Yeah, true. First of all, you wouldn't kill him also because you would be indifferent to your own emotions also, right? So now there's an interesting question, but the answer is also pretty straightforward. Now you see, there are two ways of looking at this. One is the Turiya is apart from the waker and the waking world, right? First of all, why are we identified with all this? The reason given in Advaita is because we are ignorant of the Turiyam. We are not aware of it at all. We are not aware of it at all. We don't understand it. We may read about it, but we don't feel it. When we are ignorant of something, error comes. This is the fundamental thing. From Ajnana, or let's use English, from ignorance comes error.
Okay.
Comes error. If I don't know that there is a rope, in the darkness, the rope is there, semi-darkness. So what do I see? A snake. So I'm ignorant of the rope and I make the error, I think it's a snake, right? I'm ignorant of myself as the untouched, unchanging, pure consciousness. And what I see in myself, in front of me, the world, this body and mind. And I immediately identify myself with this mind. Mind is full of thoughts, happiness, sadness, desires, everything. And I go on like this. I become the waker. I become the waker. Now, this is one way of looking at it. So the Turiyam is apart from the waker. To answer your question, Turiyam is apart from the waker. If you're really apart from it, you ought to be indifferent to it. Or another way of looking at it is the Turiyam itself which appears as the waker and the waking world. Just like in your dream, you appear as the dreamer and the dreaming world. The one who is sleeping and dreaming. In his mind, he creates a dream. And he is also himself in that dream. In fact, the entire dream, the people in the dream, the animals and the non-living things, and he himself in the dream, all of them are not apart from his mind. He's actually become everything in that dream. And this states that this Turiyam itself is appearing as all this. In other words, the Turiyam is one with all. Now, some sadhaka or some spiritual giant may stress the oneness aspect of it. You'll find in Vivekananda again and again and again, he says, you are one, we are one with the universe.
Yeah.
It's not a rhetorical thing. You should feel one with the universe, which is good. But he states this as a fact, as an assertion. Actually, you are one with the universe. If you limit yourself to this body and mind, you're separate from all bodies and minds. But if you see what is behind that, like gold, then you are one with everything made of gold.
Yeah.
Gold is one with everything made of gold. You will see yourself as pure consciousness. In yourself, all these things are taking place. Then you have a sense of oneness with all beings. If you stress that oneness, then the unhappiness of a person, the misery of another person actually will bring a response in you. Just as right now, my misery brings a response in me. When I have Sarvatma Bhava, the oneness with everybody, it automatically does. And you see it in the lives of great sadhakas and great spiritual giants. They respond to the life, to the sufferings of others. But you're right. There may be a kind of spiritual giant who does not respond, who may not be cruel, but may simply be indifferent to the world which he will see as a dream. So there have been such people. And they have also been very great spiritual people also. And you can see it in them, a kind of deep peace and joy is there within them. If somebody comes in front who is suffering, they will help. And that has been explained in different ways. A simple explanation would be, these people have gone through a long period of spiritual practice. And so the mind of that person is suffused with thoughts of good thoughts, helpful thoughts. After realization, when he sees himself apart from all, what would he do? He would let the body and mind go on doing what he was doing, like an inertia of motion. So the inertia of motion of a sage would be to help others. He is apart from the helping also. He sees himself as illumining both the helper and the helped. This here, we are really going to the peak of the Everest here. The final word the Upanishads have to say about this. And I've packed so much into one class. I was seeing the explanation given by a very senior Swami. I've given you just 4 or 5 points here, the whole 1 hour session. That Swami, he explains this verse in 127 points. out of which I've given you less than 10% today. So if there seem to be gaps, it's very natural. If you think it's all perfectly clear, then either you are a realized soul or you haven't been following what's going on. There should be some gaps, actually. There should be some areas of confusion or where you can feel a little uneasy about what's going on here. Should we wrap it up? Tomorrow, I'm going into the extensions of this mantra, the implications. And Gaudapada Acharya's Karikas will take up 7 or 8 Karikas, which is in the second handout, which will come tomorrow.
Okay, so then today is going to be very brief. It looks like the other half an hour that was supposed to be going on for, it kind of did not. It was just a false advertising of the video. So, yeah, very interesting how he was like tying this all together, and he was just saying that this is a 10% of the entire thing, which just makes one realize how much there is that we actually do not know, and pretty fascinating. And again, for me, this whole lecture has been almost like affirmative in what I know. It is, I know many of you have pointed to that, like in a way that I might be blown away, or like I will learn something that I haven't. But the contrary is truth. I think when I've been discovering spirituality for like the last 2 decades, it's been exactly from those angles. There are obviously new things that I wouldn't have thought of, especially to me the state of the sleeper. But him having said what he had said just makes me still further question and realize how much there is that we don't know. And previously I thought that he's going to maybe refer to who am I, as in like the he's going to talk about the consciousness in a sense of the God, as in like how that's how I understand the spirituality. That hasn't happened here for me, but I feel like that's kind of, at least from my understanding, from where I'm sitting, from all the knowledge that I've gathered. I'm not saying I'm right, but that's just what I've done across like 20 years almost now, is that like you are part of the consciousness. And I quite like the guy who was talking that like if you're an eye, you shouldn't be maybe feeling the emotions, but then he's explained how you identify with that, and you can be so many things. And I like yeah, and observe, like you're the ultimate observer. And I think this is where you have meditation and yoga to help you kind of reach that I would say emotionless state. And actually that's quite interesting thing that just popped into my head. And you guys are very proud, or at least that's how it comes across to me, of saying that Indians are very like emotional people. I'm not too sure. I don't think I quite understand what you guys mean by that. But the thing is, like, to attain consciousness in a sense of, God, and many of you might argue with me about so many variety there, but let's just keep it simple for the sake of argument. It's very, I guess, that end state is a very emotionless state, and it's kind of like, I guess, what yoga or spiritual practice is helping us to achieve, to detach from the worldliness of ego and emotions. And so how does that then work? Because you seem to be very proud to be emotional, but to reach the ultimate state, it's actually to get rid of all the emotions and attachment. I would love to know your point of view in the comments below. And with that being said, I would conclude this part 3. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please give a thumbs up, share a like, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you in the next one. Until then, please do take care. Sending much love. Bye-bye.